Here at ABCA 2024, got head coach of Missouri, Kerrick Jackson.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
So, board of directors, diversity committee. It was the first time I had ever gone to that meeting. It was amazing. But to be honest with you, the first thing that I noticed is that the crowd wasn't very diverse, and I feel like it should have been.
For sure. I think when you look at it, and when we started the committee, it was a point and a source for those that are minority coaches to attend and have a sounding board and get information. But like you said, I think we need to be completely inclusive, get more people that are non-diverse, because those are the ones right now that are in position of making decisions. And so I think as we've started to go through the years, we've increased that number, and we still got a long way to go, but we're getting more and more all-in-all inclusion to what it is that we're doing.
And so you're actually the first African American on the board at the ABCA.
Yeah.
Is that correct? So how does that make you feel? Are you excited about the future? What is that opens doors, no?
Well, I think, again, like you said, it's fortunate and unfortunate that we're talking about breaking barriers still at this time, but it's got to be done. We got to bust that glass ceiling. We got to create more opportunities. So I'm blessed to be the first person to do it, and hopefully create more opportunities for people to come after me.
So for the general public out there, what do you want them to know about diversity in baseball?
I think the biggest thing is that change needs to happen, that we're making change happen, and the more people that are involved that understand what it is that we're trying to get accomplished, the easier that change is going to take place. And that starts at the grassroots with Little League and youth playing the game. And when you have more players playing, you're going to have more coaches. When you have more coaches, you're going to get more players, so it'll be cyclical, and that's what we're trying to get accomplished.
We talked earlier, and you know, I talked about maybe lower income communities going and visiting them, and you said like that's not necessarily true. There's a lot of minorities not in those communities that we need to be highlighting. Can you touch on that a little more?
Yeah, I think sometimes we look at it and we think that all black folks are poor, right? Which isn't necessarily the case. We do know that there are minority kids, and specifically black kids, that are out here playing the game, and some of them live in the suburbs. It's not solely isolated to the idea of being in an inner city, and so being able to get those kids that are out there playing and giving them recognition is going to be huge.
And so would you say that that's the best thing we could do to promote minority participation in baseball, is just get more involved, not just us, but the general community out there who wants to do so? What can they all do to help promote and increase minority participation in baseball, which is going down?
Yeah, I think the better coaching we can provide at the youth levels, the better off we're going to be. And I think that's a place where when you're looking at kids from that 6 to 9 age, are they getting quality coaching to understand how this game is supposed to be played? And if they're not, then we're losing to the other sports, and the coaching expertise in those sports at that same range is a little bit greater. So we just need to make sure that we're putting our kids in the best position to be with the most knowledgeable coaches.
Congratulations on your success. It's been amazing to watch, man, and you're doing great things. Keep it up.
Appreciate you.
I will tell you this, that there is a different amount of pressure on you when you are a minority coach, because your whole idea is you don't want people to believe that you got the job simply because you were a stopgap for the minority quota that needed to be met. And so you take that on a little bit more, because you understand that anything that you do wrong is going to be looked at as, well, he wasn't qualified for the job, he got the job just simply for the color of his skin or his background or what have you.
Here at ABCA with Jose Vazquez, head coach at Alabama State University. What's up, brother, man?
You doing all right?
Doing all right. You did a great job speaking today at the Diversity Committee. Tell us a little bit about the importance of that group.
Well, I thought that it was a blessing for us to be able to communicate with as many coaches. I think it gives us a platform into where the things that I think we could follow in order to continue to have more minority coaches to climb the ladder, get to be at not only at the Division I level, but really in college baseball in general. It was great to see how many people supported the event. I think that the future is the sky's the limit. I think that every year the group is going to continue to grow. I think there's some things that we need to be able to, I would say, cover a little more in detail about what it is that it takes to continue to get in this business. But as far as overall, I thought it was a great idea, and I think it was a great meeting today.
Where I talk about like that science of getting jobs, right? Like there's a science to it. No one's getting lucky here, right? The body of work has to be good. You have to be good. You have to be prepared. I was in my third year as an assistant at Simeone, young, thinking that I was deserving of a position, right? Interviewed actually at Northeastern with Mike Platt, right? Really great program, unbelievable coach. We had a couple of Northeastern players that had played for me and had developed really well in the summer, where I was coaching in the Perfect Game League, and he had a position open, and I attacked it relentlessly. Like, I thought I had it, got it on campus, everything went great, everything checked out. And I remember getting that phone call saying that he was going with somebody else. Like,
What would be the hardest part, in your estimation, being a minority coach and trying to climb that ladder?
I think in general, not only as a minority coach, but as you're trying to get into business, you have to understand that early in your career, you're not going to make too much money. You know, I think that in any profession, sometimes you think, okay, I just got a degree, whether it's a master's or a regular undergrad degree, a bachelor's degree, I'm sorry, and you say, you know, I'm going to make a certain amount of money. When you get into this business, you really have to climb the ladder little by little. And it really is going to show if you really want to be in this business, because once you establish that, you can put that as a goal and say, you know what, this is what I'm going to make. This is the sacrifices that I got to make this first couple 3 to 5 years in order to see the fruit, you know, of the labor eventually. I went through it. I think a majority of the coaches that are either head coaches or coaching at, you know, at any kind of level, being a head coach, have gone through that. And
They take the field, what you do in moments of adversity, what you do when it doesn't go your way. You will always being interviewed. Always. And the one thing, and I appreciate Jose saying that, I'm always going to stay true to self. I've never been in a position where I've let my position define me, because I know it can be gone like that.
You're an HBCU, historically black college and university. Personally, I think people don't know what that means, or if they should go there, if they shouldn't go there because they're a white kid or they're not a white kid. Like, what's the misconception about it, or what do people need to know about HBCU that, hey, this is Division I, this is the same as everything else?
Well, I'll answer that a little different because I have to answer from the perspective that I've been in 2 programs. I was part of Bethune-Cookman University, graduated there, I'm an alum, and now I was at Alabama State. Both programs were able to provide us with everything that we need in order to be successful. So we have been able to roll the sleeves, you know, and get to work. And as the university has been able to provide us with scholarships, with a budget, you know, with salaries, everything that you really need in order to be competitive, we have taken it into a challenge and to make the program the best that it could be. So what I want people to understand is that our brand of baseball is excellent, that we have great academics, that we can compete with anybody in the nation. And at the end of the day, we want to be able to create that culture into where we're competitive every time that we step on the field. Yes, there's limitations, but then again, there's a lot of universities that are not HBCU that also have their limitations. So, and you know, when you talk about that part of the you know, money and things like that, it happens to a lot of places.
There's a lot of people out there that would like to promote more minority participation in baseball, and they're not necessarily sure, like, how do we do that? What would be the suggestion there?
I think sometimes there's a lack of promotion, you know, and people that have different organizations, different platforms that can help a little bit more promote the brand of minority baseball players. So I think that will be a great way to go about it, into where we, in a way, we're put in an even playing field as far as you're promoting all the places. Talk the same way about HBCUs and our programs as you're talking about every other program in the nation. I think it'll be a great.
Give the same kind of coverage.
Absolutely,
you're saying,
100%.
Social media,
social media, all the
That
platforms.
makes sense.
And at that point, once again, you guys are doing your part, and obviously, it's up to us to do it.
Great job today, Coach.
Thank you.